Good morning, everybody. This is a quick reaction video to Officer Tatum on YouTube.
That is explaining, or at least trying to advocate against Senate Bill 199. Now, Senate Bill 199, this is a state legislator. This is not the federal government. This is state legislature.
This is for
so this
Arkansas.
Is a bill that they're trying to pass in the state of Arkansas that would allow people who transition, that have been damaged, that have been hurt, that have been coerced, to go back and sue doctors that may have pushed them into the situation instead of giving them the proper care. Now, this person here, and I want you to listen very clearly at the words that are coming out of their mouth. I don't know what they, I don't know if it's supposed to be a girl, a boy. Now we don't know what they're doing. But I want you to listen to what this doctor is trying to say in response.
And one thing I want to say, the reason why he says doctor is because this woman does not act like a doctor. She is totally biased in her opinions, because there are children, I know one personally, who are thankful that they were not permitted to do that, take puberty blockers and or transition. My child, who went through years telling us that she was a boy, that she's this, that she's that. And now she's at the stage where she's grown up, matured, got her brain fully developed, or most of the way, she's 21, so most of the way developed. The point is she no longer wants to do that. She said it would have been a mistake to allow it. Let's get back to the doc.
Not passing Senate Bill 199. So, roll it clip.
Good morning. My name is Dr. Gwendolyn Page Herzig, owner and pharmacist at Parkwest Pharmacy in Little Rock, Arkansas. I've lived my entire life in Arkansas, born in Newport, raised in Northeast Arkansas, and have completed my doctoral degree at UAMS in Little Rock. I'm still happily married to my high school sweetheart, have 2 daughters, ages 3 and 6, both rotten, and I'm also intimately familiar with the disadvantaged community.
How confused are those children?
So, I'm confused here. She's saying that she is still married to her high school sweetheart. So, ladies and gentlemen, biology says your high school sweetheart, that I'm assuming you have kids with, has to be a woman. Because it don't matter what your fantasy said in your mind, you gotta have the parts. I don't want to do my hand like it, get in trouble. You gotta have the parts to do the job.
God created man and woman.
So you're still married to a woman, still attracted to a woman, you have kids in this situation.
And myself, a transgender female.
Transgender female, I want y'all to catch that, transgender female. She didn't say transgender female, they say transgender woman. They said transgender female. These people are nutty, in my opinion. Let me grow.
Before voting on this legislation, I highly encourage you to first stop into my pharmacy, visit with me so I may distill any unknowns and share my experiences of those in my community. My staff and I are always regularly available to serve, and we are conveniently located in West Little Rock. If anything, you can always find it.
One thing I want to say is doctors usually are not biased. In other words, they generally are supposed to be neutral in their opinions. She doesn't sound very neutral.
Trader Joe's and say it wasn't a wasted trip. In my practice, I have not experienced a single instance of a patient regretting their transition or starting.
My daughter would have been one of them that would have regretted it.
Puberty blocking medication. I have hundreds of.
And they have done studies that proved it's harmful to stop puberty in youth. It's a natural process that our body must go through. And if you put puberty blockers in, you're causing harm to that child.
Patients currently have hormone replacement therapy that identify as being in the transgender community. Each happy to have the opportunity to be themselves and stave off the chronic dysphoria that plagues them. The biggest obstacle that the transgender individual faces is the lack of empathy, affirming care, and resources to help them succeed in life.
That's not true.
Bills like SB 199 are designed to hinder, not help Arkansans. By creating barriers to evidence-driven healthcare they deserve under the guise of protecting the young and innocent.
Yes, I just wanted to, you said that you were not aware of anyone that,
This is where he absolutely destroys her argument.
was unhappy. Are you unaware that there is a large number of people in this country who are unhappy?
I follow multiple social media sites for those who detransition and those who do detransition, and I've not had any instance in Arkansas. It's generally because they have the lack of family support or resources.
That's not true.
Because they've regretted the decisions that they've made.
Not true at all. She's lying about that.
Why can't this person be genuine? It's very simple. This is why we get into arguments with these people. This is how things go south.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can just keep it real. You can say, I have not experienced that in my practice, but I do acknowledge that some children may regret the decision that they made, or they may not have been given the information, and they shouldn't have never transitioned. You can say it and have a compelling argument. If you just acknowledge that some people may make mistakes, this is not for everybody. But I'm here to support the people who are genuinely seeking this, and I want to give them the best help possible. But for those who not, I want to make sure that we give them proper care so that they don't go down a path in which they regret later on. You can easily say that and be
Hold on one second, guys. Sorry about that.
genuine. But this fool will refuse to acknowledge that there's actual people that regret it.
You're speaking for those people that's what you're going to tell me right now, is that you're speaking for those people. I've met a number of them that want to detransition or want to detransition, that it wasn't because they're unhappy, it's just because of lack of family support.
Family support and resources. Transitioning is hard. It takes a lot of resources to be able to do it and achieve certain goals. And so,
That's interesting because that's not at all what their story is.
Not at all.
I'm in the community with lived experience.
No, you're not.
No. You're in the community, but you said you didn't know anyone.
No, I didn't say that.
I do. And I do.
Okay.
And so what you said about their mindset.
And her answer to that is, "Oh, okay." No, you don't have lived experience. The only experiences that you have are children that come into your practice that you biasly tell them that their feelings are accurate or whatever.
Represent the people that I know who have detransitioned or want to detransition.
I can't stand these people, man. Your kid, just imagine your kid is going through something and you get a doctor that's biased. They're not
Because she is
They
biased.
want to pump your kids with puberty blockers and everything because they have a biased perspective. She's not using not using science.
Nope, no science involved because science has proven that it's harmful to stop puberty
But if you somehow
because it's against nature
kids to this,
and natural responses that the body goes through.
you're not going to get a true recommendation based on research and science. You're going to get a recommendation based on a doctor.
And just so you know, there's another thing that went around that went viral saying that gender is determined at birth. It's not. Gender is determined at conception. XX or XY. That's it. And I know this is going to be triggering for some people, and for those, I am truly sorry. But this is the facts. I'm sorry, but they are. Read the Bible. In the Bible, it states quite clearly that God created man and woman. God does not make mistakes.
To acknowledge that there are kids that regret it.
And that's exactly what I told my daughter when she came to me and said she wanted to be a boy. I said, God does not make mistakes. I did not make a mistake. You are a girl. And when you turn 21 or you become an adult, you could do whatever you want to your body. And she had decided that she would like to keep herself as a girl.
transition, and then got to look like an egg on her face when she's confronted with something that's counter to.
And believe me, I'm not saying anything about parents who do let their children. That's a parental decision, I guess. That's up to y'all. I personally, I would not do that because I'm sorry, but your child is not old enough to make decisions like that can affect the rest of their lives. At 8 years old, at 10 years old, at 12 years old, at 14, your brain is not fully developed. Why do you think teenagers react instead of think about consequences and do according to that? No. They just react in situations. Why? Because they're hormonal. They're crazy. That's what being a teenager is all about. Discovering who you are as a person. And then the parents are supposed to be there to guide you and show you the right way. Instead, we have some parents who let their children do whatever they want, regardless if it's right, wrong, or otherwise. And I'm sorry, but at that age, you're not old enough to make a decision that can affect the rest of your life. Would you allow your child to make a decision about getting married? Would you allow your child to make a decision about having a child? If your 14-year-old came up to you and said, I want to marry my boyfriend, we're getting married, would you allow that? It's a decision that would affect the rest of her life or his life. Would you allow it? Why do you think you need parental consent to get a tattoo? Why do you think you need parental consent to get married under a certain age? Because you're not developed enough to make that decision in the brain. Ay. It's not complicated. And I don't have any problem with anybody. You do you. That's the way I feel about it. You do you. But don't push you onto me. Don't push you onto my kids. And that's exactly what's happened over the past quite a few years, is this shit was pushed on children. And they were made to think that something that's mental health related was normalized.
That I want you guys to see. This is the beginning of the video. This is when it goes off the rails.
Oh, by the way, this gets a little triggering.
Are you telling us that you're unfamiliar with the large body of medical evidence of the harm that's come upon people that have gone through these processes?
I'm familiar with a large body of evidence that shows that providing good affirming care saves lives.
Are you saying that you're unaware of the large body of medical evidence of the harm that's come upon these people in these processes that have been gone through? Are you unaware of that body of evidence?
She knows she won't answer that question. See?
You said that you're a trans.
I trans female, yes, no, sir.
Do you have a penis?
I'm sorry. And that's a legitimate question. And I'll tell you why. Because you're standing up as a doctor and telling people that this is acceptable. So, yeah, that's a legitimate question. Did you fully transition?
No. That's a legitimate question. Listen, if you got, what are you ashamed of? What are you ashamed of? Because this is the body you have. You're transitioning. You got a thing. Why you mad? Why you offended? You got
Amen. Why would you be offended by that?
Because if you're supposed to be a doctor that's supposed to help people transition, then this is a challenge that you have to deal with and you have to be able to address. You can't live in fantasy world and say, oh, you shouldn't ask me that question because you shouldn't know. But you're telling people you're a trans woman. But you shouldn't know. If you go on a date with somebody and try to interview, are you going to tell them or not? Yeah, you got to tell them. This is a legitimate question. But these people live in fantasy world. said it to her, and I'm gonna let you finish seeing the reaction, but I'm glad he said it because it just draws you out of fantasy world. You can't just live in fantasy world. You got one. You know you do. But you don't want to admit to it because that breaks down your total I'm a woman fallacy. Okay? Because you had to have 1.5 kids. You had to. Okay.
That's horrible.
No, it's not.
You're the one that brought that into the discussion.
I never said anything about genitalia.
Oh, yeah, everything okay.
I don't know what my rights are right now.
Your rights?
Stay in here.
You brought this to them.
That question was highly inappropriate.
No, it wasn't. No, it really wasn't highly appropriate. You are a doctor who is standing up and telling the rest of America that children should be allowed to have self-affirming care, like transitioning, without their parents' consent. So yeah, as a doctor, as a woman, you should be allowed to be asked that question. I'm sorry, you should.
I can answer any question. If you're through, we'll dismiss you.
Well, I'm not through with questions, but I'm not going to answer that question. That's highly inappropriate.
Again, no, it's not.
You can say that, and that's your right.
Okay. From a healthcare professional out there, please treat me as such. Next question.
You're not a doctor, in my opinion, because you took a Hippocratic oath as a doctor not to do harm. And you do harm every day that your biased opinions are pushed on children.
Please.
Are there any other questions?
Good morning.
La La Land. They live in La La Land. They live.
They truly do. Truffles, get down. Come on. Hold on one second, guys. Okay, so again, shout out to Officer Tatum, because he's always bringing the true story of it. But yes, this woman is a doctor. Okay? So people of Arkansas, if you bring your kids to this woman, just know you're getting an unbiased opinion, because she herself is transitioning. And she obviously believes the rhetoric in which she is pumping. And it has scientifically been proven that people who transition and took hormone blockers, that it caused more harm than good, as far as I'm aware, according to studies that I've read. Whether that's true or not 100%, I don't know. I can only go because it's a new thing relatively over the past few years. So you can only go by the very little of evidence that there is. But I will tell you this. A child is not mature enough, responsible enough, old enough, or grown mentally enough to make a decision that would affect their entire life. Do you understand that concept? Because that's the point. If the child is old enough to make that decision, and if they're not, then they shouldn't be allowed to do that. It's that simple. Because I know my daughter did that, went through it all. And she came to me and said, I'm glad you and Dad did not allow that, because I'm not sure what I want out of life. And let's face it, at 10, 11, 14, 16, 18, you're still discovering yourself. You're still trying to figure out who you want to be as a person. There's nothing wrong with that. But at the same time, and I'm not saying that it's right for everyone, you do you. But I'm sorry, no. Don't push it on kids. don't force that decision to be taken away from the people who that decision should be, which is the parents. I'm sorry, Doc, but did you push those children out of your womb? Because I can tell you right now, nobody would go behind my back and tell my child that that's the proper thing against me, because I'm the one who carried her. I'm the one who grew her in my tummy. I'm the one who pushed her out of my womb and out of my body. And I and her father are the ones that raised her. So nobody else makes that decision for her but us. That's my point. No doctor, no governor, no politician, no anyone should be allowed to take that decision away from the people who that decision should be, which is the parents. I'll say that repeatedly because that's truly how I feel. Now, for the parents that agree with this stuff, that's on you. They're your kids. You want to make that decision for your child, that's on you. You want to give your child whatever they want, whether it's harmful for them or not, that's on you. But don't force that decision on anyone else. That's my point. Anyway, and believe me, I'm coming from a parent who went through it. I'm a parent who went through it. My husband's a parent who went through it. And that's all I'm saying. Is don't, you do you, but let me do me. It's that simple. That's why you have people like Zoran Mandami, who is running New York. If they had their way, that shit would be allowed. No. Anyway, that's pretty much it. I wanted to react to that because I thought that was absolutely, and I love his reactions to stuff. I really, truly do, because Officer Tatum is hysterical in his reactions. But anyway, that's it for now. I will catch you all later. Don't forget, like and subscribe. Check out Officer Tatum. Show him the love. Give him the like. Give him the subscribe. And while you're at it, hit that like and subscribe here as well. Thanks, guys. Peace. Don't forget, live by the golden rule. Treat others how you want to be treated. Peace.